Dear students, today we will discuss about thermodynamics and few terms which are used in thermodynamics and thermochemistry. We will start off with thermodynamics. Thermodynamics is the study which deals with the flow of heat or any other form of energy into the system or out of the system. That will be called as thermodynamics. The name indicates that therm means heat and dynamic means flow. So it is the study which deals with the flow of heat. Now there are few terms which will be used in thermodynamics, in which the first one is system. We will frequently come across with these definitions in this chapter. System is anything which is under observation either in the classroom, either in the laboratory. Now anything which is under observation, that will be called as system. It may be a pen, it may be a cup of tea, it may be a beaker full of acid, it may be neutralization reaction occurring in a beaker, it may be titration in a flask. So all the processes which are to be studied, that will be called as your system. You analyze the properties of something, you observe any change in the reaction inside a beaker. So anything which is under your scientific observation, that will be called as a system. Now this system is separated from its surrounding by a boundary. The boundary is an imaginary surface which is separating the system from its surrounding. For example, if we take the acid and a base which are present in a beaker and they are going to react together, so it is your system. But the sides of the beaker is the boundary because it separates the system from your surrounding. Surrounding is anything apart from the system. Like I have given you the example that if you want to study the properties of water, you want to study a reaction which is occurring inside a beaker, so it is your system. But anything apart from this beaker, that will be called as surrounding. If you add surrounding and a system together, it will make the universe. For example, I have taken a small example in a beaker. If you take some water inside this beaker and want to study the properties of the water, so it will be called as your system. But the sides of this beaker, that will be termed as the boundary because it is going to separate the system from your surrounding. And anything apart from this system, the complete universe apart from this system, will be called as surrounding. Now if we add system and surrounding, they both combine together and it will make the universe. Now there are different types of systems. So the first one is open system. Open system is a system in which there is exchange of matter and exchange of energy. Both the exchange of matter and energy occurs, so this type of system will be called as open system. For example, water placed in an open container. And this water will start evaporating by itself and matter is converted from liquid state to vapor state. Now there is exchange of matter from system to the surrounding, and there is also exchange of energy. If you take hot water in the beaker, it will start cooling after some time, and this energy from this hot water has been released or evolved into the atmosphere or surrounding. So in open system there is always exchange of matter and exchange of energy. Closed system is A system in which the exchange of energy occurs but there is no exchange of matter. Again, take the example of water. But in first one, we placed water in an open container, and this time we are going to place the water in a closed container. There is some lid over the surface of the water. It is closed. Now this lid will not allow water to evaporate and move to the surrounding, but it do allows it to exchange energy. That is hot water placed in a closed container, it will exchange the energy, it will start cooling after some time. That is energy or heat that has been transferred to the surrounding. So this type of system will be called as closed system, where there is no exchange of matter but exchange of energy do occurs. That is called as closed system. Next one is isolated system. It is the system in which there is no exchange of matter and no exchange of energy. For example, if you take the example of thermoflask, we are going to place some hot tea inside the thermoflask, and that hot tea will be placed in it for many hours. The exchange of energy will not occur, it will remain hot for many hours. Now it is already closed, no exchange of matter occurs, but on the other side it is also insulated, so there is no exchange of energy as well. So such systems will be called as isolated systems. In open system, the boundary is open and uninsulated. In the closed system, boundary is closed or sealed but uninsulated, while in isolated system the boundary is sealed and insulated as well. So these are various types of system. Normally in the paper the question is asked that what is system and what are different types of system. So this question will be written in your paper, that is having three types, along with examples you have to explain the question.